You know, I am in a very special moment. Today I made a lot of videos. Today I published a lot of videos. The reality of this, my supposed obsessive state, were actually like to establish some recurrent sequence of what a day of mine suddenly can be in just a fragment of a couple of hours to simply say something. There are a lot of people under destruction in this timeline, and I have the Sodoma company, Ejército Armado Argentina, making the witchcraft and the generations and playing the mind control and witchcraft and the ways to trying to distract me over trying to I gotta take its heroes away. I gotta have it for my own. And making the wild with some special that I love so much. And I really do. Brothers of Israel. And with my friends. And with the precious of Moshe. And with precious people. Uranus. Urana Advent, which is under menace. Like a lot of others. And with Shem. And with Rabbi Affectivity. Love you so much. And suddenly we were about making something. And the vermin that generates this never stop like an they simply will do this. Because of they are what they are so long. Telling that they gotta take away my Hebrews, my English, and possess it. Telling that evangelics and witches gave it to them. And the master, president of the world, says to be Luciano Proviano. So suddenly, the reality of this is no demon can give nothing of no God. And especially whenever the one takes for his own and owns every one of us. So the reality of this is we're making a riot of the generations and saying that I had to be watched by expertises of the generation abomination that they pretend to be national security. About supposedly watch me up about what I were doing about, sorry, redundance. I had to be watched. How would I sing and speak Hebrews and Hebraic whenever I never studied? And telling it's over to it now there because of he confessed. Really. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Poskuta. If you say you cannot take my Hebrews away and my languages away, it's because of you know I have it. And I am who I am. Degenerado abominable. And if you are making all kind of a witchcraft and the generations for you to possess my existence, my life, saying everything like it has and it is, belongs to me and I'm gonna be him, it's because of you know I am who I am. Degenerado abominable. And if you go to evangelics prostitutes to playing the prophets of Baalu Matuf, culebras de Lucifer, like you, Sodoma, it's because of you know you cannot make a word to somebody that won't respond to the name of culebras Babylonicas, but at the name of Adonai, that you pretend to make the word and possess everything of. And well, to establish the reality of this, not only this were happening, but also damaging my devices. And not only destroying my devices, but keeps on making damages and saying, see how it cheats you up. He's not singing, he cannot sing. I have 26,104 that generates Sodoma, Argentina. Ejército Argentino Armed Forces, CIDE, Metropolitana, Prefectura, Gendarmería, Bonaerense, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, Policía Federal. On my debut video capture software, NCH, which I'm recording this video now, on my Audacity free software, multi-track, and templating everything I got and making drop evo and some BMC mirror. So while I do, they will reproduce in them stolen, refan, which never owned and want, computers and servers, telling that belongs to them everything I do, and makes up any class of an excuse like Christina Kirchner officialism and all associated that generate like them, to the studying how God moves in me, how to speak these languages, how is the Ruach Elohim about what they possess, and how can they do what I do with the Spirit of the God. And evangelics, they says, serves for everything they want to do to me and to everybody. And evangelics swears, is this holy? So the reality is, whenever were those times, if you don't forget, it were so classic, the Chutzmah Hadith that you can read in Torah, at Nosu, the Achatzikum Shlutz. So suddenly they're used to saying in the Torah something special. Just want you to observe this point. And at the extension of the land that Hashem promised and gave to Abraham, were so extensive like until the eyes hidden the horizon through the whole of the valleys and mountains as there were seen. And in the middle of the promise of Adonai, there were this special extension of so fructiferous, rich land, that said Adonai to Abraham, be at the ochlutz ma'afech hatzariyos, that land shall be yours, for the reason of Atrom efechiti botzim enachashulutem echani. But the problem I got is understanding this, that I were in my erotet zikuletu machoshtutz mechoelata. For the cause of this, which they don't want to do, no respect. I know the ones my enemies are, but those which achotremechades doesn't use me and doesn't want on me. Why on? For the reason of Otrebechal Tzanachi, there is not like Adonai will happen on. There is about Addarero bet metoach bet sumat be'eloch tutsimbu ma'atem. So there delivers at the blechomet sebeshochulitsni that there is, they don't want to get the reality of ensochultzimat na'evel. That is why we're translated this way. Not because of they will be up another night. Won't happen. And suddenly at the point of the soul keeps on relating and saying, for they knows my richness in the best of mine, and they knows who I am and what I do, and how do I give my richness to the mind. And whenever I am going through, they seize my walk on, for the reason they were putting the living ones of my hand in the destruction that I never gave, and pretending to bring alive the ones that I put at death. So see those to never cross line, and don't you approach to no one, I shall make the way of mine. And remember that land gives fruit and is rich all over, and they knew were mine, and I made them special land there. Reason why I established them abominations in name of abominables, and gave the Aretofechudika pretend to possess all which mine is, to the plain the ancient of Acho La'ar. And it's in the Torah. And the Reina Valera doesn't have that. Neither Saint James. So, the reality of the soul expresses something special. And like as observance can be done here, what is happening? And Adonai made in this land, which is not the richest ever, but you see the land at the description of Obrach Atratso Shlo Abudnas, Sorda in Larach Adniotsum, Arvach Tasma Arsal. And you see this land, and it's so similar, so power, until the horizon to hiding, until the eyes hides in the horizon. So, it doesn't mean that we are going to go to trend to expropriating people and saying whatever, which they gives an idea. Get me? Also for the genociding, especially. So suddenly, and Shofet Sachalibi Itza Mechulam. Eromofechud Latzidecha Heshochulat Sa'im. Gelot Retafechotzi Shechem. Remefechulat Sechesho Atzi Machachala Ataf Echlo Etzi Gaachim. Ishodamtia Na'el Chutzov. So the reality is Sodoma. An ejército argentino, una armada argentina de generados were permanently all through the day, every day, non-stopping, and especially this time making what they do. And telling, see that he cannot do nothing, he could not concluding this. And in the middle of this thing, the reality is, while raping, while destroying, while murdering, while robbing, while forging and telling me, go out to make the Sodoma requestment, or I will kill them. All through this day, I apologize again for the terms I've been using, qualifying them so perfect. Everyone. And stamped in hell with them, everyone. Shalom. At the certain clear thing that the United States of America's diplomat house residence were invaded by 3 degenerates of Asada, Ejército Argentino, Sodoma, making target with them 9mm against Mr. Consul. They had Ochatsimot Lebechatsimachat and also Israel's diplomat court, telling that I had a showing myself, like they said, coming around seeking for any damn trousers, and telling the whole of the words for the brazen, faceless, sickle degenerator Osvaldo Carnival, Guillermo Preno, Mar Cabrera, to say, is this holy? This is the holy of yours? and still insisting on God never gave him nothing. Nothing at all and nothing in heaven. Gave everything to its enemies. And you know who are my enemies. Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, rapist as a whole with legs, which wants to play the war to Adonai since my fight, and much before, of course, but since to my fight, every day, and you see them now. So, prostitutes of Babylon, prostitute of Sodoma, United Evangelics Argentina keeps on playing the worry because of doesn't accept the Christ. Adonai doesn't call Christ. Adonai calls Mashiach. Adonai calls Elachachai. Adonai calls Adonai. And the reality of this anathema, servants of Sodoma and prostitutes of them, is exactly every day the same. And there are a lot of victims, but not exactly this. I know them well. I work all the day under this struggle, and not only I, while people were kidnapped, murdered, destroyed. And no one stopped to making what they were doing. And the reality of the soul is exactly I am living in the middle of the hell that Osvaldo Carnival, Juan Crudo, Mar Cabrera, Carlos Anacondia, Guillermo Brain have caused to me and to us all. They are the heads of this destruction. En ejército argentino, Sodoma degenerados, perras sodomitas del infierno, are the cause of the most of the genocide and the whole abominable degenerations we suffer with Luciano Troviano. I had to receive documents and papers at my door, and I come to know about now, a couple of minutes ago. Never received, not a thing, so God yellow, so everything, like I said, are in hands of sultans. You have it all right there. Even your Honor Edmund, I didn't receive a thing, and I'm sorry that I said what I said about the DAICO, UN Justice Parties. So, with so much love, you point me with Israel. Understanding the reality, not to trying to giving me a brand new one for the reason of what we are here, something which on the reality as ever I can deliver my life out of this disgusting land with the pardon of victims if afforded and innocent. Simply just have a right out in a very precious land. And I didn't say thanks at the proper way, and I'm more than thankful to you all. Eli, Ellis, the President, your Honor, Matt, Salim, people, everybody, Merrill, George, and I'm sorry the loss we are going through. And all of my friends in Anya. And suddenly I didn't receive a thing. And they were stealing everything all around for the same all making. And keeps on telling that gotta take my head away to studying and watching my supposed crime. The brazen 10 excrements. Swimming at the same Azazel's excrement like parasites everyone is. The way they die. Salah. And in the middle of this all reality, everyone kept on making the same degenerations and abominations, and no one stopped doing. And damaging my devices and damaging everything and trying to murdering people and murdering all around permanently. and manipulating my mother and making the hocus pocus all directly. And about this all, I can show publicly what they are doing. My classic, always recall. And I can set clear much other. Just like to have the certain clear thing of this day. When a mother that doesn't know not a thing on 78,906 more forged documents by Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Aníbal Fernández, Policía Federal Argentina, about signatures once scanned and delivered with Epson laser printer, the highest resolution with the very silicon Brighto, so bright, stamped and printed, which it is not like the silicon pen, which is opal whenever dries on. And telling that I cave and I don't, and I said and I signed. And the other, from the same, I done my last D and I. And the passport that I got, where I digitally signed my regular legal using sign, my signature. So suddenly I have two signatures. One that I do with something like Blanco, another that I do other class of. This other class is the one that I got in my IDs. And International Criminal Code and States knows this, and I use it often. Really often, sorry. So suddenly, the point of this is forged, telling that I cave. And I accepted and I agreed, which never happened. And making robbery, destructions, kidnapping, murders, jails, internations of people that I never said to, saying that I will confess. And I will keep agreement and I will say, yes, they done what I never say no one do. Sodoma degenerados are until I put them dead. And after that, they all are dying, Sodoma forever. And them prostitutes with them shall die. So the reality of this all is, who am I to saying I'm going to put them dead? I am the one I am. And my Adonai, first in me, and above my life forever. And justice is going to be, and I'm going to be, with above Hashem himself, justice for him and for the most ever until my breath to deliver me. Shalom. So the reality of the soul delivers into the point of this, that we can understand what came and what is and came, where we are and we go. So the reality of the soul is simple. What we were fighting were life and repudiating abomination, which Sodoma, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, and all that generates with them, making the whole job of the study, and you should see them right here, right now. https www. La vigilancia sobre la divorada Sodoma degenerada Argentina. ¿Cuál es el comportamiento, el patrón y la forma cuando hacen violación y lesa humanidad? ¿Y cuál es la instigación, la manipulación, el manejo? Con la prostituta mayor de todos los tiempos, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. .int. F7. Lasky and clean at my side. Last bleed, ISIS in New York. This is the link for systems recall. And it's awesome the things you can see about this. Certain things are not gonna be for the public because of there is explicit rape, destruction, slaughtering, murder for all age, all gender. But states in the United Nations with a proper reality of health officers of code, expertises, real expertises, forensics, scientifics, criminal justice, and all us contain the situation for this, all disgusting degenerados abominables making. It's gonna be clear at the hand for this last months. And already causing wonderful. And something else. https www dmtff.gov. Simple this. Open the frame programming link window, and just as at the 21st file, putting in Ishkiva Guam, just to understand this, bar kautu beenta mahat kotlut tehti bikum point botlet bar, and let it work. Just in isolated, any isolated unit, ask you please, everybody, and understand what I talk about. All in small caps. It is a simplicity. Just let it work. But isolated units, please. Means no servers, nothing like you have in IDs, nothing like you have in files, nothing you can have. Just a clean, just nothing computer with a net connection with no ID, no name, no nothing, and let it work. Let's try to do something about reality. I'm gonna put them in hell. Alejandro Blanco, Redemi, Buenos Aires, August 15th, 2014, 23:05. And I'm sorry again for the terms and the situations today which were not the best. And I am tired and destroyed, but I'm not gonna give in. I love you, God, Afra. I love you all. I love you all. And really do. And I love you, Shem. I love you, Moshe. I love you, Rebbe. I love you. Just as body, people, I love you. Brothers, sisters, friends. Everyone's gonna do his work. Everyone's gonna make it. It's gonna show it. It's gonna accomplish. It's gonna do the job.